Were you able to get on the internet back there? Okay.
I'm new to this.
You want out? You want out?
I said I'm new to the heights.
Yeah, you want to click on the left side. Yep, there's. You'll start a class in there, PCT130. That's what we're hanging out. And what browser are you using? You might try Chrome, might work better. Good. Yeah. You hit the start button. All programs. Good. Were you able to get in okay?
Yeah.
Very awesome.
Thank you very much.
Hello, sir. You've been in this classroom before already?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
awesome. If you need help getting on the internet, let me know.
Okay.
Go ahead and get on the Eagle as soon as you log in.
Up again. Are you here Thursday night as well? Late night? Hold out. Still, they should have it before they. She did want to.
Hello. You've been in the classroom before?
I've not been this.
Okay. You'll log in with that information there. And then go and get on the Eagle. Let me know if you have any issues. Also, a link on the page called check-in. You can read the check-in up front. Check-in. You want to read that? It shows you how to check in up front. You need help on that. There's a link called check-in on the homepage. If you want to click on it, it shows you how to check in up front. Did you already do it? Okay. Yeah, you got it. You slipped by me. I didn't see it. You're quick. Hey, Andrew. How you doing?
To set up a.
Same old, same old. Your old one will work. Yep.
The RVC.
Actually, if you just go, if you have an old QR, that'll work. Or if you want to just go to myattendance.today on your phone, you can type in your S number. It'll pull up that way. So how's your summer?
I'm working at Taylor.
Awesome. Liking it?
Yes.
Good.
My attendance that.
Myattendance.today. And then put the letter S or 7-digit ID, and that should bring it up. Then you can save your QR to your phone. Once it brings it up. You know if you have issues. Cool. Thanks, sir. All right. Good job. All right, we'll get started here in about a minute. If you've not yet checked in and need help, let me know. I can help you get checked in real quick. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Same QR. You can use that. Yep.
Actually, I have a different phone now, so.
Okay, well, you can do myattendance.today. You go to the webpage and grab it. Yeah. Same login as last time. So, how's your summer?
Pretty good.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
I worked a lot. I did a lot of side jobs.
There you go.
Like island stuff.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah. Hard work, good money.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How was yours? How was yours?
Do I know?
How was yours?
It was good. Yeah, it was good. A lot. Yeah, I was busy. I didn't do any tile, but I did work hard.
Yeah. Got a lot of, you guys finished the NIU?
Yeah, NIU RBC app's done, published on the iOS and Android both. And we're working on one for Trio for SAT testing. Test prep, I think it is. Let me pull it up on mine. If you want to come up here, I can have you take a picture of it. Here on mine, do the same thing. Okay. All right, we'll take a picture of that. They did that weird picture that you had on there, so finally came up. And then that should work if you tap the green button and use that QR put in front of the camera. There we go. Yeah, yeah, just put it, make sure it fills up the whole. Oops. Let's see. Might have a look at your phone. You might bring up the web browser. Did you use the web browser to get on your phone? From your computer? Okay. Look at it this way. What is the first four of your last name? First four characters. HED. Jessica? All right. I'll have to take a picture of that. And just fill up your camera with the QR. Make sure you get all the edges so too. So cool. And then you can, it should work. There you go on the tap. Let's see if that works on the screen. Yep.
Did it get me?
Yeah, it should have. You right there. All right, you're good to go.
Where's the QR code? Where is it?
You go on your phone, just go to myattendance.today.
Is it on your,
It's a web app. You just put in your S number.
wait, so I need, so where do I go? So
Just use any web browser and go to myattendance.today.
Then I just put my student number and then submit it.
The letter S and then your 7-digit ID.
Did I put the 0 first? Yeah.
Do what now?
Did I put the
Yeah, start with the 0. Letter S and your 7-digit ID. Yeah, we'll call it 0.
Oh, there you
Right, you can save that baby to your phone and then use that from now on. Cool. Everybody get checked in? All right, so make sure and save that image to your phone. That'd be great. This is PCT130. My name is Professor Chuck Conk. I'll be with you the next 15 weeks. We're going to start out with a fun Kahoot. So get your phones out. You can go to kahoot.it and then put in that pin, that game pin. And it's a really difficult quiz you're going to take here on network security. No, we'll do one of these each Tuesday. Tonight's an intro night, and we're going to go over logging in, checking in, format of the class, and then we will meet second time this week on Thursday. We'll talk about the format intro tonight. Naughty names beware. One click of your name, and you're out of the game. But no, you can be creative. Be your own superhero, right? You want to be like whatever superhero you always want to be. So we got, and Walt, you guys, okay, we need some superhero names. We have normal names up here. There we go. AI's in. Not Nancy. All right, we'll wait for 2 more. We should have a total of 9, I think. And you can use your computers as well if you don't have a smartphone. I believe all of you had smartphones, but if you don't, you can use your computer as well. All right, cool. We're ready to go. Let's see what names we got here. We got Al, Anthony, not Nancy, okay, Jack, Andrew, Tada, Don, and Walter White. All right, here we go. Intro poll. 9 questions. Are you ready? What interests you about network security? And you'll get 4 choices. Choose which one interests you the most. The color button on your phone. Answer as quick as you can. So all of the above. I like that. So you're in here for learning how to combat hackers, better prepare yourself, network issues coming up, but wreak havoc, and then learn how to secure a network. Great. What do you think is used most by hackers when hacking a network? Weak passwords or social engineering? And you'll learn about both of these this semester. All right. Yeah, social engineering is actually the most common way hackers get into the network. Weak passwords is definitely one too, but it's the most common social engineering. And you'll learn what that's about this semester. In a nutshell, basically, it has nothing to do with hacking. It has to do with being able to talk your way through anything and being able to get people to persuade people to give you information at a moment's notice without even knowing you. And so some of us are better than others on that. But hackers, good hackers that know how to do it are very good. There's competition every year in Vegas where they contact, an example, 3 years ago, we did one in Vegas that Walmart was contacted and multiple Walmart locations. And the head corporate knew about it, by the way. But guys and gals get in these glass booths. They get a script to use, and then they can ad lib however they want to. But the goal is to get a password, an administrator password, and a URL to get into a server. That's the goal of the hack, using nothing but social engineering and talking to people. Yeah, DEF CON. Yeah. And basically, one gentleman got in with under 45 seconds, was able to get his a password from a Walmart manager leaving the store on his way home, and this guy was able to access that. So anyway, we'll learn more about social engineering, and folks you might have heard like Kevin Mitnick that was an expert in this, and that's how he got his notoriety, was in social engineering. Even though he could hack, he was really better at social engineering than anything. Are you interested in internship opportunities? Yes or no? Tons of them come across our desk over the semester. Some paid, some unpaid, but all good experience for you in network security or in general networking in general, or IT. So majority, in fact, all of you, I like that, are interested. So what I will talk more about that this Thursday on ways to connect to internships. You can get a credit for internship or not. If you do want a credit for an internship, you do have to pay for the one credit, but you don't have to if you don't want to. You can do, I have students every semester do internships, but they don't want credit for it. They just want to learn something new. You can definitely do that. What field of IT security interests you the most? Ethical hacking or building the secure network? And you might not know much about either one of these yet, but you'll learn this semester. So just kind of best guess here. So ethical hacking basically is the winner here. And what that refers to is using your learning hacking skills to be able to gather data to get into a network and to thwart off hackers that might want to gain access. It's for educational purposes only, ethical hacking is. And most hackers that become, you'll hear a term this semester called black hat hackers, that are the bad hackers, and white hat hackers, which are the ethical hackers. Usually start out white hat hackers, so ethical hackers. Most hackers do, and they kind of evolve. Some do, some don't. Kevin Mitnick's an example. He started out just delving in his room on computers and hacking away, and then eventually just to find information. And when he was arrested, he actually hadn't, even though he took down a lot of servers and lost the company a lot of money, he didn't steal any money himself, and put his bank account full of money. It was all for educational purposes. So you'll learn a little bit about that. You'll learn some websites also tonight. I'll give you some websites you can sign up to tonight, actually, to start being a part of a nationwide group of ethical hackers that you can go to competitions and all that cool stuff here in Chicago and the surrounding area. That's a lot of fun. Why are you taking this course? Graduation requirement, work requires, general knowledge, or other. No wrong answer. All right, so we have most of you graduation requirement if you work, and then general knowledge and other. So good mix. Are you interested in the CompTIA Security Plus certification? It's a middle of the road certification, not Cisco, not Microsoft. It's kind of in the middle of the road. Yes or no? We do offer that certification on campus. I can help you. I can get you hooked up with testing and all that good stuff. You want to do it? Cool. So majority of you want to do that. So I'll give you some information on that this next few weeks. In 2009, smartphones outsold computers. True or false? 2009, smartphones outsold computers. Should be phones plural. True. They did. And so all different types of smartphones outsold for the first time, desktop and laptop computers. Individual that want to hack into a computer to create a damage but lack the skills. Black hat hackers, or script kiddies. And you're not being graded on this, so just whatever you think might be the answer. Script kiddies is the answer for this one. Basically, it's tools you download from the web. Anyone can download without any knowledge and hack a website and hack a server with no knowledge whatsoever. Just how to Google, basically. You can download stuff. First step in an attack. Final question. Penetrate any defenses, paralyze networks and devices, probe for information, modify security settings. First step in an attack. What do you think it might be? Probe for information is the correct answer. And so that's the first thing hackers will do is go in to probe for information, network information, IP address, subnet, all that fun stuff. So great job. So we'll do one of these each Tuesday. The Kahoot we will do. Next I want to talk about our website, myrvc.org. We have on here job internships, also events coming up. Latest app was released from our division, NIU RVC app. We have some of you in here in this picture in our Android class. So yeah, RVC Hour Code Challenge is at the mall every month, first Tuesday of the month. We meet at the mall. Galapagos School, we did a networking coding challenge with them. We have a new network certification, mobile app certification that just got on board within the last year. And then this is a promo of those who are alumni here that have graduated RBC or went on to bigger and better things, maybe just taken more and more classes. So from the website, again, you can look at all the certificates from Cisco, if you're interested in that, if you're already involved in it, to Microsoft, to mobile app development, Visual Basic programming, voice over IP, associates, to our blog, events, and the events will have on there, general events for the division. And then also, this is a picture of a Tech Expo that we have every year in October. We have over 100 usually attend that. Some of you have attended that already. We're ramping up for the one that's coming up here in a few days, actually, or a few weeks. It's a lot of fun where you get to meet multiple businesses in the area that are IT related that you might not be aware of, that they're offering jobs. We have, in the past, we've had Ingersoll in there. We've had Woodward Governor, Tycomics, just to name a few. So yeah, it's a cool event. And if you go on down, it talks about all the events we already have on the calendar, which are some of you have helped me with these already. The Hour of Code at the mall, I already mentioned, is the first Tuesday of the month. It's basically 1 hour of code. It's 5 and up, and I teach with helpers like you, kids and mom and dads and grandma and grandpas and even college students, basics of drag and drop coding. Back end is JavaScript. It's a lot of fun. And what's cool is the mall gave us a spot by Maurice's on the second floor. They set up all the tables for me, chairs, internet access. All I have to do is bring in 20 iPad minis and a projector, and we're good to go. So if you want to help with that, let me know. I'll be more glad to plug you in. And it's fun. It's an hour out of your life, and you get a chance to help somebody and meet people. And Tuesday's pretty dead on the mall, and so it's not like there's tons of people walking around. So if you're interested, let me know. And then Tech Expo 2018 agenda's coming soon. We'll talk about that website in a second. And so we'll be adding events as we come. So Tech Expo, RBC Tech Expo is coming. 64 days, 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 22, 21, 20 seconds from now. And basically the idea behind Tech Expo is to, let me open up this link to go to the About, is to have 4 local businesses come and present skills required to work in their workplace, give advice of importance of taking right courses while you're on campus, internships, taking advantage of those. In addition, discover what skills over a dozen local companies look for and learn about courses that Rock Valley College has to offer. And so in this event, we have students like you that go. We also have the public come to this event as well. This is our 3rd year doing the event, so recommend coming to it. And it's free, it doesn't cost anything. You'll learn some stuff, hopefully. The next website, and all these sites, by the way, I have listed, we'll go over in a second, but I just want to kind of visually show you these. Major League Hacking, MLH. This is a national movement. I'm a part of the board on this, MLH.com. And basically it's learn, build, and share. Everything from code hacking to network hacking to ethical hacking. Tons of hackathons all throughout. We organize a number of them. I help organize a number of them. And basically what a hackathon is you basically show up at a location like, say, Prairie Street Brew House is an example. You might have heard of that place in downtown Rockford. And you have 4 or 5 companies come and give a pitch of an app idea that they need or want you to create something for, a process, right? A process might be, how do we find out on Rock Valley College's campus where to go in a case of emergency? Do you know? Well, maybe some students do, maybe some students don't. So maybe create a process for that, an app or a website or something. So the team then, people create teams. You don't even know each other when you go in. You form a team of 5 or 6 people, and you create all different types of apps. It could be mobile, web, Windows, whatever. generally lean towards more web-based, but there are mobile, iOS, and Android apps that are created. And then in the end of the 2-day process, you have judges that are on a panel that judge the pitches of all these teams, and then somebody wins. Usually it's a monetary prize. I've seen up to $5,000 awarded to teams, so that's pretty cool. And generally what happens is the company's buying your idea, basically, right? And you're creating a prototype is all you're doing. So you don't really have to have tons of knowledge in programming or in networking, really. You just have to be creative, be a team worker, really, and figure stuff out. Because you're just creating prototypes. It's not a finished product when you give it to them. And then they generally pay a group or internally create it themselves. Or I have seen students get hired, too, from hackathons as well. So hackathons are a really good resource here in Rockford and the surrounding area. And so you can join or look at the website and look at some of the resources available. I'll be sharing with you throughout the semester some hackathon season events that are coming up locally. You want to be a part, you don't have to, I'm going to twist your arm, but it is a lot of fun to do. And you do learn stuff, all right, that you're not going to learn in a classroom environment in a hackathon. You're not going to learn it. Nothing replaces a real world scenario. And that's basically what you're involved in a hackathon. And again, it's a lot of fun. You get to meet people from all over. Kind of cool. Next is, this is a big long website. You don't have to remember it. All you have to remember is a link I have. I'll show you in a second, but it's whitehats.us. It'll redirect to this page. And it's a WordPress page. On some of the stuff, it's kind of outdated for sure. I'll be updating it. But it has in here some of the projects that have been done in the past, some videos, things like that. So talks about demonstrations like creating a virtual firewall, hacking a password, things like that. So anyway, that's some of the websites. Now, I'm going to close all this stuff. Here is our website for Eagle. At the top is my office information. And this is the wrong class number, but you know where you're at. And it's Tuesday, Thursday in this room. Tuesdays, we will do generally introduction to the topic of the week. This week is introduction and chapter 1 stuff. But generally, we will do introduction of chapter stuff on week 1 or Tuesday. And then Thursday, when you come to class, you're going to do labs, hands-on labs. I would recommend bringing a 3-ring binder because a lot of times you'll get software and handouts both combined with the lab. That way, at the end of the semester, you have a number of labs that you've done that you can redo at home or use at your workplace or whatever the case may be. I know week 2 out of the chute, we don't do a lab week 1, but week 2, we do an NT reset lab, which shows you how to reset any administrator password on any machine, both Windows server and Windows client. And so shows you how to use a tool called NT reset, created by a German network technician who was also a programmer. And so pretty cool tool. And that's the first tool you'll get out of the chute. So again, recommend a 3-ring binder with some sleeves in there for software. The software will also be available to download, but most of your computers today don't have CD drives. So I will have it at a download repo as well. That way you can put it on a USB drive and boot it up. Most of your network security tools, by the way, you'll learn this semester, are Linux based, and so you'll get a lot of Linux distros this semester. And because so many of you don't have a DVD drive, most of the distros I'll probably give you will be on be able to be ported on a USB thumb drive. And I will show you probably next week how to create a USB bootable thumb drive, how to do that with a Linux distro or any distro, which is nice to have. That way you can boot up from this distro from any machine anywhere in the world and have a full-fledged operating system from a USB thumb drive. And so only running from a USB. So that's kind of cool to have. And all the tools you might need to do penetration testing or ethical hacking or looking at surveying a network. Phone number, that is my Google phone number. If you were to Google or text or call it will go to my Google voicemail. I am pretty prompt on replying to email. If not, my email's not working. And so I try to reply pretty quickly. So even if it's at night and you have a question about something, don't feel bad about texting that number. That's why I put it up there. It doesn't come to it is not my cell number, but it does redirect to my cell, and I can reply to you. General course navigation helps. I'll let you do that on your own, going over how to navigate the course success. I will click on that one. Basically, and this will pertain to really starting next week, make sure to read the chapter of that week coming up before coming to class, or at least peruse through that chapter, kind of roughly go through it. Would be great for discussion. And then all assignments by due date, and then silence your cell phone. So the way due dates are in here with all my classes, it's a Sunday night, following Sunday night at midnight or 11:59. If you're going to be late or you're going to whatever, just let me know ahead of time. Or if you have issues, let me know. I'll be more glad to work with you as long as you communicate that you have issues with something. Be more glad to help you. All right, course discussion. This is for you to post and reply to each other on course and non-course related topics. And so discuss whatever you want to talk about. The only rule is be kind to one another. The Ellen rule, I call it. And so, just be nice to one another when you're talking and yada, yada. It can be stuff, I'm looking for a phone. What do you guys recommend? Any good deals on cell phone plans, whatever. It can be, my hard drive crashed. You guys know any deals on hard drives? And one of you might have just purchased one recently or something. I don't know. And you can post in there some information. So stuff like that. And so I recommend posting on this board as much as you want to. I'm not going to police it. It's just going to be something for you guys to communicate with for your own benefit, to kind of get to know one another a little bit better. Make sense? Cool. And it kind of helps build a group a little bit better as well. Connection bot. This one here, basically the only one you'll be using on this one probably will be if you want to set up office hours. There is a link in here to click on for office hours. Schedule a meeting is what it's called. And here you can pick in a date coming up. And I think it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is a time frame. So let's say, for instance, you're wanting to talk, and then Wednesday, I think it's 15-minute increments. Some 6:30 or 6:45 is only 2 slots. And I'll select this one just for fun and say, okay, I'd like to do it online. You just tell me online, face-to-face, or you'd like me to remote control your computer to help you with something. Any one of those 3 criteria. And then I'll kick back to you an email on where we're meeting. It's generally my office, but I have been known to meet students at Meg's on Perryville before. I might be meeting other people already. Online's convenient. I can send you a link of how to do that on my website where you can meet online. And remote control is if you need help with something, I can set up a time to do that using TeamViewer, which is what I use to remote control into your Mac or PC to help out. So that's probably the only one you'll use on that one. There's other ones you can use in there, but that's probably the one you'll use the most. And then textbook. You don't need to purchase a textbook. There is a download link here on Security Fundamentals, 4th edition, that I have rights to use for this classroom from the author. So you will use that. There's other resources I will give you throughout the semester, but that one we will use for your review questions, quizzes, stuff like that we'll go over in just a second. Check-in, we already went over. Every time you come in on a Tuesday, we won't do this on Thursday. We'll only do it on Tuesday. You'll check in with the app up here at the front. Hopefully you were able to save that to your photos, and that saves just a little bit of time on checking in. Because we have like an 8-day roster we have to fill out. And then beyond that, it's just I like to keep track of who's here, who's not here type thing. And we only do it on Tuesday. Bless you. Not on Thursday. Now, if you have me for Thursday for 110, we will do it on that. But for this class, only on Tuesday. All right, so going into week 1, there is some getting started stuff to do, actually. The very top of the course information, you scroll up to the top of that. Getting started is going over information about the course. The link for the syllabus I'm going to update, so disregard that right now. That's a wrong link. Talk about downloading the course, following me on social. There's Professor Geek, that's me. The division is CISRBC. And then Snapchat, we will be promoting some stuff on Snapchat as far as events. And then talks about information as far as course navigation and main pages of the site to avail yourself to that. Going on down on that course information, live chat we might use a few times this semester. Course success, already went over that. Course discussion, went over that. Hacker movies, let's go over that. Okay, these are movies I recommend to watch if you've not yet watched them. And watch them in this order is what I recommend. So first is Hackers, 1995, Pirates of Silicon Valley, and the years are to the right in parentheses when they were out. Takedown, War Games, The Net, Antitrust, and Sneakers. All good hacker movies, and you know, some are definitely dramatized for sure, but they're movies, right? But the content's kind of fun and you know, right up your alley, hopefully, and you'll get some stuff out of it. So anyway, these are movies I recommend. Yes. Oh, I didn't publish this yet?
Oh, it's not there. It's just
Yeah,
below. It's further.
It's at the very bottom. Yep. Should be.
It's not under the first module.
Yep. Cool. Then iTunes U. I will be periodically posting what you're hearing and seeing on the overhead to iTunes U. You don't have to use this, but it's just a resource for you. I like iTunes U because you can actually find other courses besides ours on iTunes U. I'll kind of show you here what it looks like. Go that way. Just updated that link to fix that. And I will fix that link. It looks like Josh just fixed that. And if you don't have iTunes U, it will redirect you to download iTunes U or iTunes on your computer, which I've already got on mine. So I'll just show you what it looks like. Come over here to say, incorporated all of iTunes U in regular iTunes stuff now.
When did they do that?
About 6 months ago, something like that. Apple did, so it's still kind of convoluted on it. Let's see, I'll find something here just to show you. Not gonna be what I want to show you, but that's okay. Anyway, I'll show you this one. It's not working for me like I want. But anyway, this is a different podcast for my 110 class. And you'll get one for this class as well. But basically what it allows you to do is download podcasts that we talk about in class, but also I try to put supplemental podcasts up there as well that might help you. And while you're in iTunes, you can also search for other podcasts, and you'll go to what's called the store to do that. And these are new and noteworthy podcasts. You break it down to audio or video podcast. You guys have heard of TED videos. Everything called TED Ed is a good one to connect to. They're really cool talks and college age students like yourself to all the way down to, you know, we have students I work with that do TED Eds that are in grade school. They do TED Eds as well. It's kind of cool. But if you're into Raspberry Pi, whole bunch of different types of podcasts you can be a part of. And you can click on this category list over here and go to, like, say, technology. And this is being recorded, so you don't have to jot all this stuff down. And you can then find the latest and greatest. Like Twit's a good one to grab a hold of with Leo Laporte. He does a lot of Mac, Windows, and iOS talks on a daily basis. Windows Weekly, Paul Thoreau is a good one. And then if you want to go drill down deeper, you can drill down even deeper into different news of the day. Big news like CNET, Apple, stuff like that. Once you register to a iTunes podcast, it then will download to your device, whatever you use, iOS or Android, it will work with. So that's iTunes. It's again, not a requirement, but it is a resource for you. Next on that list is WifiSlax, WPA2 penetration testing is a document on WPA2 that will go over penetration testing for Wi-Fi, hacking a Wi-Fi WPA2 network. Pen testing, penetration testing resources. There's a GitHub link here on awesome penetration testing pen test tools. Just a collection of awesome penetration testing resources available on the web that you can download at no cost. And it's up. This list is updated all the time, including books that you can download, free and paid both. So we will use some of these tools actually this semester, but I'll show you how to use them. So I'm a big believer in not only talking about how to use something, but showing you how to use it. And so week one, all weeks will have a task at the top like this one. All weeks will have generally that beginning poll that we did, the Kahoot. We'll do that fun thing. And that's not graded, by the way. It's just something fun to do. And it just shows me whether or not you're awake, really, that you've done some reading, you know a little bit about what we're talking about, type of thing. And by the way, starting in week two, all the Kahoots will be a quiz type, meaning those would be a one right answer per set per question, basically. And again, I do recommend using a fictitious name, even though by the end of the semester, everybody's going to know what that fictitious name is that you have. But what's great about Kahoot, by the way, it's totally free. You can sign up for it yourself and use it in meetings, right? Go to Kahoot.com and just sign up as a admin. Doesn't cost anything. It's unlimited on how many people can connect to it, by the way. I've used an audience as large as 800 to as small as 5. And so, it's really nice. And it doesn't cost anything. And plus, they have tons of Kahoots out there on anything that's trending right now, they'll have a Kahoot for. And so from sports to politics or whatever. And folks like you create those Kahoots and put them out there. It's kind of like I tell people, it's kind of like, and you guys have already seen it, but to explain to somebody, if you've ever been to like Buffalo Wild Wings, the little tablets they have, you can do kind of like that. But you can use your devices instead of a tablet or something. Podcasts. Every week we'll have a podcast, and it's already linked to the podcast tonight, which we're recording. So as soon as you leave tonight, it's already ready to preview or whatever. And so you don't have to watch the whole thing. You just forward fast a certain section. Like maybe when we talk about websites, you forgot to jot them down or whatever, or something I talked about, you can forward fast to that. It is a YouTube video, so hopefully you can play on any device. Just make sure you have good internet connection. About me is telling your classmates and myself about yourself a little bit. So you'll copy below questions, reply to at least 2 other people in the next few days. What name you go by, favorite food, favorite movie, hobbies while you're taking the class. And then you can reply to a couple others in the class as well, like some have already done. Review questions. Every week, for pretty much every review questions on the chapter. And I try to put in the number of the PDF, because the number for the PDF doesn't relate to the number sometimes for the book. So it's on page 55 of the PDF is where the review questions start. for the first chapter. And all I need from you is answers only. And so when you read a question, just tell me A, B, C, or D, or whatever. There are a few essay answers, but not many. So post those. I recommend doing it off the grid, like on your phone or tablet or whatever. And then when you're done, the text entry is the only way to enter these. So you'll have to copy and paste them into this area anyway. Make sense? So if you store it as a document, you're not going to lose it. You type it in here in 10 minutes, Eagle's going to time out and lose all. Well, supposedly you're not supposed to lose your stuff. Supposedly you're supposed to save your stuff 4 times out, but as you know as well as I do, that doesn't always work. All right, and I'm not going to test it or have you test it. Grade or quiz basically is 38 points. I think this one has 38 questions. I can't remember. I think it does. No. And yours will look different than this, by the way. I'm just looking here. 22 questions. Looks like 22 questions. And so again, this comes from chapter 1, and each week we'll have a quiz. You'll have up to 3 opportunities, I like to call them, to take the quiz, and you get the highest score out of the 3. This one's worth 38 points. The other ones you'll notice are going to be worth around 20, I think, all the other ones that we do. Like 10 questions, I think is what it is, from week 2 on. For whatever reason, week 1, I made it heavy because that's really, besides that and the review questions, that's all you have really doing about me. So that's week 1. Week 2 and on, you will have each week the Tuesday discussion, the Kahoot. Well, sign in, Kahoot, Tuesday discussion, done. Go home, come back Thursday with your binder. We'll do a lab. The lab papers will usually be on the page. I don't like to print stuff out, but for this I do because it is something you get to keep. And I have had students tell me they've used it before, which is a good reason to keep it. If they don't use it, I'm like, okay, I'm not printing them out then. But students have used these labs before, and so I try to keep them updated. And so hopefully you'll reuse them, especially I will tell you, the one right out of the chute, the one students use the most after they leave here even, is the NT reset. The NT reset lab where you can reset any administrative password or any password in under 2 minutes. So you learn that in week 2. That's pretty important to have as a network admin. I know some of you work in IT, and you know sometimes people will set a password on their machine, on an admin password on their machine, not supposed to. This tool will help you clear that. Or you have family members, you are the computer person, so guess who gets asked to do all the computer stuff? You do. So this might help you with that as well. Instead of having to reformat your computer or try to hack into it some other way. You just use this tool and you're in under 2 minutes with no hacking. It basically overwrites the hash file for that password, which we'll talk more about that next week. So each week we'll have, again, check-in, Kahoot, talk, break, leave, come back Thursday, lab. When we're done with the lab, we're done with the class. And so some labs last 10 minutes, very few, but some do. There's a few of them that do. Where I have you start something and take it home and do it at home because I want you to do something at home, bring back. Most on average, between 45 minutes and an hour on Thursday, and we're done. If you have a class after this one, which some of you do have my 110, there is times I leave for break to go eat and come back. And if you're in here, you're great. You can hang out, do whatever. You're fine. If you do leave, though, I'll have you, this door will be locked. And so when you leave, you'll just have to shut the door behind you because we do have equipment in here that we don't want people grabbing, especially now that they're not mounted to anything. The only thing that's really mounted, I guess, in this room right now is our overhead projector. So everything used to be mounted, but the room is alarmed. I do alarm it when I leave. And so if you have Cisco, you've had Cisco already, or you're going to take Cisco, this lab is used a lot for different classes, not just our class, but Cisco classes. And there will be times you come in here and your internet's not working, okay? If that happens, no big deal. I'll help you, show you how to do it the first time, and then after that, you can do it on your own, and it's not a big deal. So you didn't do anything wrong. Yet generally Cisco students forgot to enable something and disable something, or hard code the IP address and forgot to auto config it back. So we'll show you how to do all that. So not a big deal. And Andrew's in here too, and some other students that have been in here can help you out as well. And so somebody who's been in here before as a student, I know a number of you have, but just raise your hand so everybody can see your hand. Okay, the hands that are raised know what I'm talking about. They can help you. If you have issues and I'm not around, they can definitely help you get it fixed. And then once they show you the first time, if I don't do it, you can do it that point after. Questiones. All right, let's talk about forward fast a little bit towards the end of the semester. All right, we're going to fly in the Google Earth here into week 15, week 14, actually. Okay, so week 14 and 15, you will be doing presentations, research paper presentations, and PowerPoint presentation, Prezi, board, whatever, on both those weeks. In lieu of a final, that's what you'll be doing. Now, if I scroll up a little higher here on the weeks menu here, on week 3, I think is where I have it. Pick research topic. We'll look at that real quick. And again, you have a few weeks here to do it. You're going to pick a topic here by, what is it, September 9th is when it's due. So, success in your career will depend greatly upon written and oral communication skills. And I am not the greatest oratory person, but I try to get better and better as I've gotten older and older. And hopefully it'll help you as well to become a better speaker and communicator, really. You don't have to be a great orator person or speaker to be a communicator. Our school recognized the need for students to develop proficiency in these skills. And in this class, particularly, I require all students to submit a research paper and oral presentation. Same with 110 students. And so 5 to 7 pages, nothing fancy, double spaced, margins, you see what they are there, double spaced, except for quotes, 10 to 12 point font, Times New Roman or Courier, illustrations welcome if of good quality. I always say it's good quality if you wouldn't throw it away when you leave the room. That's good quality. An example, one I'll just throw in is a student a couple semesters ago did a paper on setting up a secure Wi-Fi network, right? And had a really good handout on a step-by-step, one-page visual on how to set up a secure Wi-Fi network. It was really nice. They put it together themselves. They didn't get it from the web. And they found the information on the web, but they put this presentation together themselves. And that was a really good illustration. Cover sheet you don't need because you're going to be emailing it to me or uploading it in weeks 14 or 15. Binders you don't need because it's going to be uploaded. Topics. Let's scroll down to the bottom of that page here where it says suggested research paper topics. Here's some topics you could choose. These are not exhaustive, by the way, just kind of throwing them out there. And some of these words you might have to Google to figure out what they are. That's fine. But choose a famous hacker and research what attack they mounted and how. Describe the development of Rotor machine and its algorithm in World War II. Research how antivirus software works. What has been the role of NIST in development of security algorithms? How much work has been done in the verification, i.e. proof of correctness of security algorithms? What was the algorithm for MD4 developed? How was it developed? How could wireless communications be more secure, made more secure? Should there be different encryption standards for the US and the rest of the world? Discuss pros and cons. Even the most secure encryption can be easily bypassed if you are required to turn over your key in a lawsuit or criminal investigation. Discuss legal issues and network security. What would be some good modern day use of steganography? That's a Google term you'll have to look up. We're going to go over lab in that this semester, by the way. Discuss applications of quantum computing to security. How reliable are modern algorithms for random number generation? How could they be improved? Discuss the use of certificates and centralized authentication centers such as certificate authorities in network security. What's the future of biometrics? That's where you use your body as a password, basically. You know, retina scan, fingerprint scan, voice, gait. Contrast elliptical curve cryptography with RSA. Discuss the future of network security. Parallel machines became commonplace. How good is security algorithm used in web browsers? Discuss ways to improve it. Discuss different approaches to key distribution. Are digital signatures the best way to protect copyright, say on games? Gamers have already seen that probably. Secure passwords are often hard to remember. Discuss the trade-offs between security and convenience. Cell phone security, that's a big one. And then any other topic you're interested in that has anything to do with network security. I had a student did one last semester on network security as it pertains to social media. How secure is your data on social media? Okay. I already see people going, not secure at all. That's what the study's about. You'd be surprised what you find. Well, some of you might be surprised on what you find. Some of you won't be, but pretty scary. And so anyway, you have till the 9th to figure out this list here, or again, I give you a caveat at the end. Any other topic that's interest to you. I do tell you this, I'll just, because you got a few weeks to think about it, try to pick a topic you know a little bit about, enough to pique your interest, right? You want to know a lot more. Another one that's not on this list, right, could be Bitcoin security as it pertains to Bitcoin. That's huge right now. And so 100, big data, is that secure? Cloud, storing your data in the cloud, how secure is that? Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? Where's it at? So a whole bunch of different things you could study, right? And it might be something to help you as a catalyst is in your own present day life where you live and work. Maybe look around you and go, I see things that are needing help, or I see things where we need help here. Maybe pick a topic about that can help you with that, whether it be Wi-Fi security, password security, even a really good one that a lot of students don't realize. People are very, we'll just use the word ignorant. They're ignorant on what a good password is. And that would be a great topic. I mean, it really is, on just the education and the benefit of knowing how to create a secure password. I mean, there's a lot of data on that, by the way, on research and all that good stuff. And so, and I'll mention the Hacker movie, which was my first movie on the list. One of the many cliche sayings in that movie. One of them is, the most famous password that admins like to use, the top 3 passwords, or the top password, I think is what the guy says. Anybody? I know some of you have seen the movie, but you remember what the most common password was? And this was in, yeah, I just remember this was in, well, you're looking at, early 80s or late 70s, early 80s. What do you think? Just blurt out what you think it might be. Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's a good one though. Huh? Admin was one. The top one, yeah, password, and then it's a 3-character letter, 3-character word. Okay, before you answer, think of you've heard doctors have this type of complex. 3-character word. Surgeons, yeah, God complex. So God was a famous password for admins to use back in the late 80s, early 90s. But that's one of the common little blurbs you'll hear in the Hacker movie. Again, a lot of it's weird, again, they sensationalize things, but it's a good movie. It's a fun movie. Anyway, so that's the topics. That is the, you have till the 9th to complete that. Questions? Okay, where you're sitting at, you can sit there the rest of the semester or switch it up if you want to. It's up to you. Hopefully, sitting by somebody you don't know. That'd be great. If you are, that's fine too. I know some of you are coming from other campuses, other places in town. Some of you are coming right from high school. And so a whole mixture of people here, which is great. At the end of the semester too, the last night we meet, when I split the group up on weeks 14 and 15, the last night I will buy pizza, because all college kids like pizza, regardless of what your age is, right? Some type of pizza you're gonna like. And so you guys will bring everything else. We'll have kind of like a party celebration. And I'm thinking about also, I do an advisor for a lot of clubs on campus. One of them is a Girls Who Code Club. But another one I'm going to revive this semester is Hack Nights. Hack Nights will start up in October, the same month as Tech Expo. I've just been real busy. So I've told some of you about this, but we're looking at purchasing a bus for the campus called the RBC Tech Bus, where basically we will go around the community. And really, the target audience is the west side of Rockford, honestly, to all the middle schools, Boys and Girls Club, where kids don't have the resources. They don't have computers. So even in the middle school, they don't have them. And we're working with a gentleman, Sam Sarpaye. He's the chaplain for the police force. I've been working with him about the last year. He's been working with the Hour of Code and stuff. But you guys have seen the ones we're talking about getting, by the way. You've seen the Rockford Mass Transit bus routes. When they retire those, we're looking at getting one of those buses when they retire them, or a fleet of them, gutting the buses out, remodeling it, and then doing a nice wrapper on it. And the wrapper will be like corporate sponsors that help sponsor it, because the cost of this is pretty pricey, as you can imagine, to do it. But I think it's it'd be like basically a moving billboard for the campus, but at the same time, bringing technology to areas that maybe don't have this technology, won't ever see the technology, be able to use it. And an example I'll end with is Blackhawk. You've heard of Blackhawk, maybe the Blackhawk section downtown Rockford. It's it's housing development community that's very poor. But anyway, when drive Sam's bus up from I talked about earlier, he got it from the Rockford Police, a FEMA truck or a FEMA trailer that was converted to a computer lab. It can only hold 13 computers, little bitty Chromebooks, and we have some iPads in there. And then he has a music station on the end where they can actually create music. What's awesome is these kids come into this bus, right, and they're literally about 20 feet from their door, and it's a whole new world. It's like literally when you're walking that bus, all hell could be breaking loose in their home and in their neighborhood. When they walk in the bus, it's like a whole new world they can experience and get encouraged. And I've seen kids go through that, and the kids I showed earlier, the Galapagos kids that are now taking computer courses that never would have before because they weren't exposed to that. So that's the heart behind the bus, by the way, just so you know. And then the next step is actually have eventually a tech center where the Barbara Coleman used to be, Barbara Coleman location. It's a $34 million project where we could take what's going on the bus into the center and actually have on-the-job training, workforce training development. And that's where you guys can come in and help with interning. And, I can foresee like RBC students being over different quadrants of kids to teach them coding and networking and network security and ethical hacking and learning skills that maybe they never learned before. So anyway, that's what I've been working on all summer. So we're going to start the Hack Nights back up in October. Some of you have been to those in the past. We meet in here, and it'll more than likely be on a Wednesday because it works about the only night I have available, Wednesday. And we did have it at an hour last time. I think we're going to make it 2 hours because hours is just not long enough. We're going to do 2 hours starting up in October. I'll tell you what Wednesday is going to start up on. You just come in, and people from all over Rock Valley, and then also the community come in that are interested in technology. Pizza's available every Wednesday night. And an example, the last year when we had this, we had a student from Jefferson and then a programmer from Ebates that met up in Hack Nights and was working on a game. We had a couple people in the community from web developers working with local RBC students working on artificial intelligence projects, and then robotics projects. So a whole bunch of different eclectic IT type of stuff, right? And they may have no clue about any of this walking in, but just interested in technology. So that's what Hack Nights is all about. Just a place to hang out, eat pizza, which everybody likes that. Or maybe everybody doesn't. I was a Pizza Hut manager for years, but I never found a young college person that didn't like some pizza, even vegetarian pizza, right? And so Hack Nights will be coming back in October, and looking forward to that. And let's see what else. Tech Expo, I talked about that. Thursday, besides talking about Chapter 1, I'll also get your information. I know all of you said you're interested in internships. I'll get your contact information, and I'll probably spend a few minutes with each of you to figure out what area you're interested in and plug you in immediately. I'll try to plug you in immediately, either working with myself or somebody in the community. We have some pretty big projects coming up. A big one I'll mention is with Burpee. We have a project coming up to where you can learn how to do 3D, use a 3D camera to scan. I think they have like 32,000 artifacts in the back room of Burpee that don't have enough room to come to the floor. They're going to scan those in a 3D camera, and we're working with a local company called Trek that's going to help teach students and myself how to bring it into augmented reality with iOS and start publishing things for Burpee where teachers can use an iPad and basically bring these artifacts into the classroom with augmented reality. That's kind of cool. So if you're interested in that, we're in the middle of getting that off the ground, along with app development, web development. There's always opportunity for general networking and network security type of stuff. So look forward to a great semester. And if you have any questions about anything, come and see me before you leave. Otherwise, see you Thursday. And we aren't doing a lab this Thursday. It's next Thursday is our very first lab. Okay? We'll see you Thursday.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Are we doing anything